Today I'm going to be teaching about union and intersection, which is usually one of the first lessons of geometry. And I'm also going to be giving a little bit of a background before I start union and intersection. So I'm going to be teaching about rays, lines, points, and things like that. Things that you need to know before you start union and intersection. And I hope that you enjoy. So first we have points, and points are represented by dots. So here as you can see, we have one dot, another dot, and a third dot, and points are named using capital letters. And we can use any capital letter. We can use H, G, Z, you get the idea. And so here we have point A, point B, and point C. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to points. So next up we have lines. So lines are straight and they extend infinitely in both directions. So in simpler terms, this just means that the line goes on forever and ever on both sides. And so lines are also made up of points, and these points are used to name the line. And so on this line we have 3 points. We have point A, point B, and point C. And so when we name a line, we use any 2 points. We can use any 2 points on this line to name it. So we can use BC, we can use BA, we can use CA. But the thing is, we always have to put this symbol above it, because these arrows mean that the line goes on forever in both directions. So whenever we name a line, we always have to put the 2 points, and then we have to put this symbol above, just like so. And so yeah, that's pretty much all there is to lines. So next up we have line segments. And so line segments, just like lines, are straight and also made up of points. However, the difference between a line segment and a line is that a line segment has a specific beginning and an end. And so this beginning and end is marked by a point. And so these points are called endpoints. And so to the left here, this line segment has endpoint A and endpoint B. And so line segments are named by their endpoints. So with this line segment, we would either name it A, B, or BA. And so the symbol for a line segment is just a line. And so we have to put this line when we're naming a line segment. However, we have to be careful with line segments, because let's say we put another point here. Let's say we put C right here. We know with the line, we can use any points on the line. However, with the line segment, we have to be careful and look at what we want to name. So if we want to name from A to C, then we have to put either AC line above or CA. However, if we want to name from A to B, then we have to name it either AB or BA. So just be careful with that. And yeah, that's line segments. So next up we have rays. So rays, just like lines and line segments, are straight and also made up of points. However, rays are kind of a combination between a line and a line segment. So a line, as we know, goes on forever in both directions. And we know that a line segment has a specific start and a specific end. And so a ray has a specific start, like a certain point where it starts, and then it goes on forever in one direction. And so on the ray to the left, we can see that it starts at point A and it extends infinitely through point B. And so how do we name rays? Well, when we name rays, we have to make sure that we start with the point that it starts with. So we always have to start with its only point. So here we have point A. So we have to start with point A. And then we write point B, and then we write a line with one arrow. So here we can see that we know that this ray starts at A and then extends through B. So So let's say we add another point. Let's say we add point C and just another point. Let's say we name this point D. So we always have to start with A, but we can name any other point after that. So we can say A, D, and then we put the symbol above it, which is just a line and one arrow. We can go AC, but again, you always have to start with its only point, but then you can name any other point on the line in the direction where it goes infinitely on forever. You can name any other point after A. And yeah, just be careful with that. So next up we have angles. And angles form when two rays come together. And we know that a ray is an endpoint and then extends infinitely in one direction. And so these two rays share the same endpoint. And so this is the endpoint that they share, and we can name it. Let's name it C. It usually has a name. And this endpoint is called the vertex of the angle. And then the rays right here are called sides. And angles are named by these points, and the endpoint or the vertex is always in the middle. So here we have C, we have A, and we have B. And so when we name an angle, we have to use an angle symbol. And so I learned that we have to put a little symbol right here through the angle to signify that it is an angle, but not always do you have to do that, but I usually do it. And so then we can name the angle. And as I said, the vertex always has to be the middle letter. So here we can say A, C, B, or we can say angle B, C, A. We can go either from here to here or from here to here. But again, we always have to put the vertex in the middle when we name an angle. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to angles. So next up we have triangles. And so triangle is made up of 3 line segments. And so a line segment, as we know, has two endpoints. So it has a point where it starts and then it has a point where it ends. And so here we have 3 points. We have A, B, and C. And as you can see, this is one segment, this is another, and this is the last one. And so the way we name a triangle is with this triangle symbol. So we draw this little triangle symbol. And then we just list the points. So A, B, C. And with a triangle, you can really start at any point. You can say triangle BCA. You can say triangle CBA. So you can really use any points. Like you can start from here and then go here. You can start from C and go to A and then go to B, or you can go from C to B to A, as long as you include all the points. And triangles, also another interesting thing is that triangles are not made up of rays, but we can still talk about the angles of triangles. And this will be important later, but we can say, for example, we can say angle CAB. And if we talk about that angle, then this is the angle we are talking about, because again, the middle is the vertex. So we know that we go from CA, and so this would be the angle to B. And yeah,